So let's talk about the changing of climates. Nowadays, it's getting really hotter in the summer in many places of the world. Is the House of Meilland preparing itself for this change?
Well, as you know, since the 70s, we are working on no pesticide, no fungicide. And we are not working only here for that. We are working in different climate. So we are in south of Spain, in Seville. We are in North Germany, next to Tantau and Cordes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we have a field next to their field.
Ah, okay.
Then we are in Pennsylvania, in California, in the south of California and the north of Pennsylvania. That's the main station. By doing that, we are already ready for climate change because we are checking a wide different type of climate.
Yes.
In our taste, prime taste. But then after we do tests in Texas, we do tests in Florida. And then for China, from the start, I wanted to be not only in Beijing or only in easy places like Shanghai.
Shanghai is not easy.
I know, but you consider it not easy. But I went directly to Shenzhen.
Ah, okay.
The first test we did in China was Shenzhen. Why? Because everybody told us it's the hardest place. So it's not really true. Because we found even harder than Shenzhen.
Okay.
And that's why we went to Sanya.
Yes.
And in Sanya, we test the roses also. So we have, since 3 years, a test in Sanya. And the data are really, really amazing because some varieties really work perfectly under those conditions.
Do you have some examples? The varieties that are doing great in Sanya?
Well, most of the varieties that are doing great in the south are Cherry Bonica, are Lavender Meadowland, are Knockout. Those are the varieties that works really well there, even though they require to be cut back during the rainy season. And then add more food after the rainy season. But it's not the variety. It's because the land is washed up.
Yes.
And you need to add food. So that the commercial variety that I can talk to you about, those are the ones that are working well. But we have some new ones that are coming. Hybrid tea have a hard time, but for sure Francis Meilland is a really good one. And we have some really good result with Elegance Française. Really working well there. But if you really want to see performing, you're going to have to go to landscape rows. And those landscape rows work much better than regular rows.
Actually, so you are already preparing for the different climates. So you are not afraid of the change of the climate.
No, the idea is to try everywhere.
Yes.
In different climate because we know hot gonna go up.
Yes.
The warmer, the more you're gonna have tomorrow more and more zones that are subtropical. So you need to test more and more in equatorial zone and subtropical zone.
Yes.
And so you be sure that when the switch is on, the variety is already adapted.
Yes, you have to go further ahead. Yes.
Everybody talk about, in China you talk that a lot, about cold resistance. And I keep telling, cold resistance is not a real issue. Today there's already a variety, really, really cold resistant. Hot resistant and humid resistance, that's the key for the future.
But are you eyeing for the varieties that require little water? It's also important.
We do that. We do little water. We test for little water. But you have to think one thing. Variety of rose resist to drought.
Yes.
There's no problem about it. But they don't put flowers. So they resist to drought, no problem. And as soon as you have rain, they will put on the flowers. What we are looking for is varieties that keep the leaves during those heat. Not keep the flowers because the flowers anyway require too much water.
Yes.
So what we test is after 2 years planting, so a variety that has good root system.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah, I know you saw it. We take off the water and then we're going to see. There's only 10 out of 1,000 that are good at it. Yes, but we know which one and we are doing breeding for that. So the idea is to get those variety into a breeding line and keep testing and keep reproducing that. I can tell you that there's a small yellow that will come within the next 3-4 years, small yellow flowers, but they keep the leaves almost during the winter and especially during the summer when it's really hot. So
Okay.
it's really impressive.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Could you tell us a bit about what kind of roses are most appreciated in Europe?
Well, already you have to divide Europe in different countries.
Yeah.
Because a French doesn't like the same thing than a German or than an Italian.
Mm.
Italy and Spain, so the Southern Europe country, usually enjoy something that gonna bring a lot of flower during a long period of time.
Mm.
So it's that extra blooming power that they're gonna look for.
Likewise in China.
Yes, in the south of China.
Ah.
But it's the same. They want a lot of flowers and for a long time, long period of time.
Mm.
That's really important. Then they want some clear color, a real red, real yellow.
The bright colors.
Exactly, the real ones. And so they're really happy with that. For sure, they enjoy romantic arrows. They enjoy big hybrid tea. But mostly they want something that is performing in the land.
I was thinking about the cherry bonica, like
Yeah,
tequila.
exactly.
Okay.
All those landscape rose works really well in the South Europe.
All right.
Then after German, they between really tough rose, disease-resistant rose.
Ah,
I mean,
yes.
that's the country of ADR.
Yes.
So they like that.
Mm.
But there's a trend right now of beautifulness. They need to be tough, but they need to be
Be
beautiful.
beautiful. Yes.
And that's why, for example, we have a lot of our varieties that are performing really well in Germany. Like Francis Meilland.
Ah, yes.
It was released first in Germany.
It's Schloss Gelbschloss.
Schloss Ippenburg.
Yes, Schloss Inferberg.
And the beauty of it, the traditional beauty of it, the fragrance made the German crazy.
Yes.
And it's really good. It's really fantastic. We're really happy with it. And then after you have all that trend about mini rose and small roses for patio plants and this and that. And that's also working a lot in Northern Europe. And then France, I mean, we are really complicated because some part of France are next to Germany, some part of France are next to Italy. So we like a little bit of everything. We like to have choice. We have to like differences. And so French will tell you always, I like that breeder and that breeder. I like that breeder. Don't forget that in France, we have the most breeder of the world.
Yes.
In terms of professional breeders. Japan has much more breeders than France, but they are amateur breeders.
Okay.
They're not professional. And in China today, there's a lot of breeders, but it's the same. They are amateur. They're not living of the royalty of their variety. But in France, we have so many breeders that it's really a competition.
Yeah.
We're lucky. We do 20-25% of the market in France. We're still number one. And we really enjoy the competition with our friend, like the one that you know, Delbar, La Perrière, Rutter. All those guys bring a lot of energy to the French market.
Yes.
And we're fighting on different type of varieties. Hybrid teas, big romantica rose, English style, huge rose, small rose.
Yes.
That's the diversity of the French market is really, really
Yes. And what about the English market?
good. English market, I mean, it's trusted by David Austin.
Uh,
It's normal, it's his native market. But in the meantime, we are trying to propose different things than to him, to the English market. And I think that's why English likes us. Because we bring something else than the traditional
yes.
English rose.
Something different. Yes.
Exactly. Hybrid tea, like Belle-Rive. They really enjoy Belle-Rive and
Yes.
they really enjoy Élégance Française.
I know it's very popular in
Yes,
England.
it's starting to be in the brain of people. And then they always think that Eden Rose is an English rose.
Ah, yes.
We keep telling them it's not, but it's fine, it's funny. But then now they have access to cherry bonica, scarlet bonica, all those yellow rose with a lot of flowers, and they're starting to include it in the English traditional type. So it's really good because England had that old traditional way of selling rose, and now they are going towards something new. And even the Petit arrived in England, so we are really happy.
Yes. Okay. Thank you very much, and see you in next year.
Have a great year.